Hey everyone, I'm Wa.
And I'm Chris, and welcome to Docu Sweeties.
We're two longtime friends who discuss the riveting and sometimes trashy world of reality TV and docuseries.
Yes, but through our own lens, honey, which can be, can be a little peppery, can a little, bitter, sometimes a little bitter, because like life gets you down. But at the end of the day, hopefully mildly sweet.
Hi.
Hello.
So we're talking Love in Paradise season 3, episode 7. Cry me a river.
Mm-hmm.
Cry me a river.
Yeah, yeah. Pooh. Oh,
Yeah.
the damage is done, so I guess we'll be
Yes.
oh, oh, I know.
Oh,
I thought,
yes.
why? First of all, I'm just going to be honest. Like, I get things change, but are you telling me that like Timbaland and Neptunes can't give me some beats right now that I would like be into? And why am I not getting those from people that are alive? Is what is. Listen, that's a whole other different situation. But if you know the answer, I really want some like fresh Neptunes and Timbaland beats. And then you know how old I am if I want those things.
But you are getting Timbaland beats. I don't think you're getting Neptunes, or if you are, it's changed because Pharrell is no longer a part of Neptune, so they've changed the name of their group. But you're still getting them. The Timbaland ones. I'll send you some. He's still been doing things.
Yeah, I like if you listen to Shock Value, it's so good. Like, but I'm just like, where's a full Shock Value? Isn't Shock Value 2.0? I forgot what Shock Value was called. Maybe I thought it was maybe called Shock Value 1.0, which makes me feel like, babe, I need 3.13.0 now. Whereas it's been updated. And also just think that like Pharrell wasn't maybe like the beat master of Neptunes. If Pharrell is like around,
Correct.
where's that Asian guy? Because I
Yeah.
feel like that Asian guy was like giving me what I needed, and I need to like find him
Yeah.
on Instagram.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, but don't worry, we're actually talking
But
about Beyonce.
yeah. Pharrell wrote "Because I'm Happy." Like he got his song that he's gonna like make money off for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was in the music video for that. There was a 24-hour music video for Happy Pharrell released. They filmed for 24 hours, and I had to get up at 5 a.m. and jog in like Griffith Park down the hill, and I had to memorize the whole song. So for 4 minutes at like a certain time frame, it's just me singing the entire song. I know it's so crazy, but shout out to my friend Catherine Burns for setting that up for me.
I
Random. This is
have literally no idea that had happened.
It's like a fever dream that happens in like when you're like doing things in LA for like 47 years. But first couples first, and that is Juan and Jessica. Juan and
No,
Jessica.
I know, Chris. I listen. This is a very serious question that I want to ask you and anybody who might know. Who decided to give us them? Like, why?
For your hate, they want it. Like they know they're doing it. Like you're letting someone get to you and then get your goat, and it's the producers. You're getting the exact reaction they want from you.
I mean, it's almost as bad as like Guillermo and whatever her name is, the cute redhead who styled herself very well. I mean, really, I only watched it to see what she was going to wear and how like her simplistic like style was giving us. But no, the only thing that we're getting from Jessica and Juan are Juan's green eyes. That is it.
Yes. Also, yeah. I mean, definitely some chicken heads and some soups. Also, I see what you're saying. And then I just got like this like flash of genius, which is like I also loved Kara style and Nicole style as well. And I'm like, oh, what if you could do a 90-day spinoff where they give other people on the show makeovers because they're so aesthetically and Shida. So if you had Shida and you had Nicole and you had Kara
Who's Nicole?
and Nicole Mahmoud, honey, because
Oh,
she's
that Nicole. I'm
yes.
thinking of Lydia's daughter, Nicole. I couldn't think of who it was. Go ahead. I was like,
Oh!
Chris, you need to define who that Nicole is.
Okay, I got you. Whew, sorry. No, that's okay. Well, anyway, let me just get this. But anyway, wouldn't that be a great spinoff?
Mhm.
Anyone to watch it? But let's
Yes.
talk about Juan and Jessica. So,
Yes.
they're taking the boys, Dayton and Dawson, and God bless.
Dowdy.
I know and the other girl, honey. Okay, so it's
Megan.
Juan's brother. Okay, I guess I have to know her name now, and I'm you the Lord's work for really cementing it there. But it's Juan, his brother, Jessica, her two sons, her best friend slash Victorian sleepover sister. So anyway, they're all gonna go to the river, and like also tell the boys that their whole life's going to change, and they decided to bring the soup. And this is really exciting. So they're gonna, like they're just gonna put a bunch of stuff into a big cast iron skillet, take it down, cook it there or whatever. And they've set up some stuff for us that we've picked up on. These two blonde kids are never taken out of nowhere except where it smells like cow poop all the time. And like they're mama's boys, and they've also like gone through a divorce, and they're whatever, like they're just doing their best. I don't know.
And they only eat chicken nuggets and french fries. Like
Yeah.
I mean, really, just all processed fruit foods. They've probably never had soup. Like, I mean, think about it. Maybe she's made like a chowder, perhaps some kind of chili, but they don't, like, you know what I mean? Like they are simple baby angels that have been put into a scenario in which they are bound to do almost the worst, but in a very natural and explainable way. They're children. It's like, children crying on an airplane. Like, you're taking public transportation. You've brought these children who are like feeling a certain way by being locked in a box for 8 hours. They're gonna do what children do. And they get there. Megan just really, Megan is annoying, and then Jessica's eyelashes. It's like they're falling out daily. They're falling out daily, Chris. And at this point, they are sparse. And you know why? It's because she's in the fucking water. That's why. She's in the water. She's washing her face fully. And so they're just falling out. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, she got a lot of eyelashes, and it looks like every day she stands under like a rainfall shower and just lets them hit her, and they're just washing away down the drain. And she's not wearing any makeup. And so what we have is like a very pale face with like some skincare issues, like around the mouth, maybe some hormonal acne. And then you don't see any of it, but just like broken eyelashes. Having said that, she's going through it. Yes, like
first trimester.
Yeah, this is someone who I bet you is probably, in the grace, I'll say, I don't think that she's going to watch this and be like, oh my God, I look great. I think that, for her, I don't think she even realizes like how it all comes across. But anyway, one more thing is, like, so obviously he makes the soup, whatever. It's like, God bless, and they're all eating the soup or whatever. And then, they do the most, right? Like they're going to give the youngest kid who already is like, no, I don't want the soup, to like fully get an unplucked chicken head. Like when that happens, you almost are like, oh, the producers pulled the kid aside and it's like, we're gonna play a little trick, because the kid is almost like, ha ha ha. I mean, you wouldn't do that for the kid that like knows you don't want to have this. I mean, it's almost like torture, like I'm not gonna now be like, sometimes the show, especially this LIP, is you can tell the shoestring budget of how fake and unprepped the scenes are. And just, we're like, you don't have a lead producers to be like, let's take it one step back, take off one accessory. And this also happens to me in the Everton scenes, where Everton was like given a script and they were like, did you run it? And Everton was like, yes. And they were like, great, roll. It's crazy. But anyways, go back there. So, he gets the chicken's head and everyone's like, it's a chicken head.
Yeah. And but I also thought, Juan is like, he's side-eyeing the shit out of Jessica's parenting skills. And he's like, I don't want to raise my children the way she has raised her children. So it's like funny for him to like try to do this in between. And this is why I don't want to date a man who has a child, especially a child that's over the age of 2. Like, I mean, the child has to be a baby, or maybe 3. 3 would be the absolute oldest I would date a man who had a child who he was active in their lives. And even then, 3 is going to be hard, because 2, okay, that's a 2-year-old. They're still 2. But by the time you're 3, you have your whole personality. And if it's asshole-ish, or if it's like, meh, then like it's not for me, just because I was, Well, anyways, now saying that, he has his work cut out for him. And I guess I just really feel bad that he believes that somehow going to Torrington, Wyoming is the move. She's in the complete, she's not even in Denver. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are places that you could go in the Midwest / whatever part of that part of the country where you could still like be somewhere where there's like commerce and there's like whatever, but not in that part of Wyoming.
let's pause for a commercial, and then I want you to tell maybe people why you said Wyoming. I'm sorry, why you said Denver.
Um,
You can tell
this,
this. Now we're in a. I'm just saying. Now, if we're in a commercial, no, we're in a commercial. We're doing
yeah,
this for Patreon.
this is on
God damn
Patreon
it.
only.
Well, do you want to tell Patreon? I mean,
Yeah,
great,
yeah, yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
you said it, and then I was like, she said it for a reason.
Yes, I said it for a reason, because I've been there. One, but two, Chris and I are going to a podcasters summit,
Podcast movement.
podcast
It's
movement, which is it's like VidCon but for podcasters. So it's what is it called? Summit, a
okay,
convention.
let me just. Why did I let you do it? Okay, honey, let me just tell you. It's called Podcast Movement. It's a podcast convention, huge podcast convention, and it's happening in Denver at the end of April. I'm just playing with you while you're doing this beautifully. But basically,
April, babe. It's in
you're right.
August. Okay, so let me just. I'm interested. Okay, you go.
Yeah, why don't you just finish it, because I don't know what I'm talking about.
Continue. Yeah. Anyway, so we just got together yesterday and purchased our tickets feverishly together, and we're going to be in Denver, Colorado, in August, the week of the 20th, I think. So one of those weeks, the latter part of August. So
21st to the 25th. Well, that's when I fly in, fly out.
Yeah.
And you guys, we're gonna have a meetup there. And it's not gonna just be our meetup.
I don't want to. I want you to say it. You have the.
I'm gonna wait.
Yes, you have you have that sensibility to know what to do and what not to do. So that's why I'm going to leave that to you. But it's going to be great. We're going to be there. That's all that really matters. So
yeah, we're going to be in Denver. So I guess why I'm bringing this up, because if you are in Denver and you're going to be there specifically in August 21st through the 4th, let us know, because we want to have a full-on meetup. We're so excited. So sorry, didn't mean to end it. But let's go back now.
I haven't done one since London, since 2019, because the COVID hit.
I know. Yeah. So basically, after the soup, they're like, okay, well, we're here for the reason. That's not the soup. The soup, I mean, it's just, the precursor for the real reason, which is,
here's your shirt.
Family.
Yeah, they make them shirts. They put the kids read the shirts out loud, and the son, whatever the oldest one is named, he's like, I'm already a big brother. Like, there's a moment where he's like, what? I'm already a big brother. And then he's like, I don't want you to have my baby. And he like runs and like puts his face in his mother's tummy. And just like, wow, I haven't had that like experience in a very long time. But he's like hugging her, and she's like, don't worry, I'm still gonna love you. And he, has that thing. And it's so funny because my brother had the same exact reaction to when Sawai we were told about Sawai. Like, so I'm 8 and Wasani is like 6 or 5, right? And we are walking home from the bus stop. I'm not sure if I went to get him from the bus stop. I'm not sure exactly the scenario, but like he gets dropped off on the like corner by my house. So then I like go get him, and then we're walking to the house, and he's like, what if they don't love us anymore, Wahima? What if they don't like pay attention to us? And I'm like, no, that's not true. It's gonna be so fun to have her. Like, we're gonna have like another like person in our life. Like, I was like hyping him up on it, right? And so I've asked him that like in the last couple of years. I'm like, do you remember that conversation? He's like, yeah.
Wait, can I go back? And okay, so so after obviously the school bus, when did you get told though? You had already been told together.
Well, my mom had been throwing up, and she was sick. And I remember her being sick. I can remember like coming, like whatever, when your parents are sick, you're like, excuse me, that's my job. What's happening with you? So like when I like saw her being sick, she was like over the toilet, and I came into her room in the bathroom, and I was like, hey, are you like, what's going on? Like, are you sick? What's going on? Like, whatever. I'm 8. So she's like, I'm going to have a baby. And I was like, oh. And that's the first time I learned about like morning sickness. I was like, I don't understand what's going on. So I think she like explained a little to me, and then probably my dad explained more. And then my older sister was there at the time. It's Yuna, she lived with us then. And so I went to Yuna, and then Yuna like was like, they told me, blah, 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 blah. And so Yuna's 11 years older than me. So she's like 19. And so she's like telling me like whatever. And so we're just all excited. But that conversation between me, I think I was home already, and I went to the bus stop to pick Wasani up, and Yuna was like letting
What did he find out?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Okay, I guess in my mind, so you were not told at the same time like this?
No. It wasn't a sit down situation.
Got it.
I distinctly remember going into my mother's bathroom and seeing her like on her knees on the toilet. And I was like, what is happening? Are you sick? And she's like, oh, I'm gonna have a baby, like that.
Yeah. Okay, that's yeah. So yeah, I wonder is you for if there's two kids, you wonder which one is gonna have what reaction. Like in my mind, it makes sense for the younger one to have the reaction because the other one has been the baby. So in this situation, Wasani's been the baby and enjoyed it, I'm sure.
Mhm.
And you're like, well, whatever.
Yeah.
But in date. Okay, so I think
Yeah. So it's
you
weird
wrote down
for
Dayton. I wrote down maybe Dayton. So let's just right now, if I'm wrong, I'm so sorry. I think Dayton is the older one, and I think Dawson is the younger one. Dawson being I hate
Creek.
soup, I hate food. Dayton being a little older. But in this moment, Dayton, the older one, is the one that's having the hard time. And
Yeah.
Dawson, who you think who's gonna like be like whatever, is kind of totally fine. And in that moment, runs up and is like, "One new dad!" Like it's just like it's always like this is a moment of interest. We're like, "Oh, okay,"
Yeah, I think what happens is because the one wants to be an older brother, and so he's excited about it. It's a different reaction than what my situation was. Like my brother was truly concerned about.
That makes sense though. Your Wasani's reaction would make sense to me.
Yeah. No, you're right. It's so funny. Yeah, he was definitely worried, and so he hugs his mother, and his mother has to like explain to him everything's gonna be okay, and it's fine. Then we have our next couple.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens.
It's Lydia and Scott, and it's in the Noche, and Scott. First of all, let me just say that I understand Scott's frustration because I too went to a country thinking that I spoke enough of the language to be able to truly say my feelings and whatnot, right? And when I got to Guatemala, that's when I knew yo no hablo español. Okay. Because it's one thing to say I have to go to the bathroom. It's one thing to say things where you're expressing your needs. It's another thing to have a back and forth where everyone's speaking in different tenses and they're using words you've never heard. And
yeah.
Like it's things like that. So I'm gonna give him an inch in that. But what I'm not gonna give him an inch is in the fact that Lydia and Nicole, and by Nicole being Lydia, like they know way too much about his past or they know too much. It's like he gave up too much information, and I feel in the beginning, and so now he's reaping the whatever he's reaping what he sowed. So he's frustrated because of the translator app, and he demands, but it's like, listen, we got to get a translator here. And so the producer steps up and does the translating. And he's like, yeah, I'm just not feeling chemistry. And, tell her she's a lovely person and I still want to be friends. But, and then somehow we find out about his Colombian ex-girlfriend. That gets thrown in the mix. And I don't recall quite how, but it was not the right move.
Yeah, she's okay. First of all, are we supposed to believe that Lydia and Nicole know everything about his life? And what he doesn't know is anything about Lydia. Like, remember that time Lydia had been on national television for like 7 years? So in my mind, I'm like, are we supposed to believe that Scott is dating Lydia for a year and does not know who she is and what she's done on television enough? Okay, so that's a suspension of disbelief.
Right.
But in this moment, yes, he wants to be like, but if I'm just to, suspend the disbelief and just go into this, like, yes, he's supposed to be like, I'm just not feeling it, but it's really because there's no chemistry, but I don't want to say that. And he's kind of like, it's because we can't talk. And then it almost feels like because he's afraid to say that he's just not into her, that suddenly it's also the fact that he, is just suddenly got approached by who's the love of his life, who just also happens to be like gorgeous and like younger, and so I'll tell you what it is LOL that Lydia is like finito, and it's like, yeah, girl. And if it was me, I'd be like finito, and then that girl would be like, see, I'd be like, send check to this address, and then I would just turn around and walk the hell out. But of course, that's not what happens, and that's why we know this is more fake to me. But I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news.
Yeah, it is just, it's interesting to me that because I want him to say what it is. Like Lydia is a perfectly lovely. I mean,
sorry, what?
She is a perfectly lovely, well put together, 50 something year old woman whom like he probably could get down with the get down if he weren't. I think he truly doesn't want to date somebody his own age. Like, I just think that that's him. Like, I think that he tried to say like, oh yeah, me and Lydia, but it's because she's not going to laugh at your stupid jokes. Your desire to act young, to look young, to catch young women, and to still have your fuego is not something that I don't think Lydia is interested in. If we're just like giving her the benefit of the doubt as a like seasoned woman, right? Because if I were with somebody who's 50 and they're still like telling stupid jokes and like doing the most, I'm like, listen, we're past that. I just want a partner. I want someone to like spend the rest of my life with. I don't need you to like be like, yeah, Lydia, come on, let's dance. Even though I can't really dance, but I think I still got it. Like, it's just like it's too much. So I understood that. What I thought was hilarious is the next episode where it's just like dramatic, dramatic, dramatic. Okay,
Oh,
go ahead, Chris.
yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Well, I just think that like Lydia, if he was giving her some money, Lydia would be only too happy to laugh at all those jokes and shake that butt. She's not. I don't think that Lydia is like as Mary Poppins as maybe just like. I don't think that she's perfectly lovely. But anyway, let's move on to Everton and Jordan, because as if I said that was fake, let me fucking tell. I can't even tell you how like I can't tell you how marginal, mediocre acting class, or not even that I can't that this scene is, but it's.
Go ahead, tell us.
First of all, it starts beautifully. Where I'm like, I don't remember if they showed us how gorgeous their Airbnb houses or whatever they're staying, but there's these beautiful shots of this beach and this home, and then like he comes out and he just walks out of the like backyard of this house onto a vista veranda and then just stands looking at it. Okay, that's the first thing. She walks out and the producers thought this was a fun. She's like, hello. And he's like, oh, he literally is startled by her. Okay, kill me. I'm like, what is this? But she's like, I got to tell him about the fetish stuff. Because, the whole thing is like she gave him a bunch of money and mortgaged her house and for whatever. And he didn't put any money in. And she got the money from, the thing that she had to do, honey, whatever, God bless, in a very fancy way to, whatever, the thing she had to do. She has to tell him about it. And she, for some reason, is afraid of his reaction, who is just a person that just got a bunch of money, as if he's going to bite the hand that fed him. But anyway, God bless. So he's looking over. She comes over and she's like, Everton, I have to tell you the reason why I have the money. And Everton's like, ooh, okay. Ooh, tell me the reason. And then she says, I've been doing things. And then she shows him. And then he goes, looks at it and then goes, well, that's news to me. Wah? Kill? I can't even. I'm going to kill me that I had to watch that. Okay.
Yeah. He's like, well, I thought you mortgaged your home. And she's like, well, that's not where not all the money came from there. And he's like, well, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, no shit. He's like, he in his mind was like, I feel like we're supposed to be like Everton, be like, I cannot have a woman in my life do such things to make such money. And Everton, I feel, is like, what the fuck can you make money from doing? What can you make money from doing? What? Everton was like, I just got a lotto I have you, bitch, that will just do whatever the fuck with your ass cheeks, your fake boobs, and make me money. That's crazy. This man, he is overlooking a vista veranda and has this woman who can make money by putting cake between her body parts. Wow. I'm going to react off camera.
And like she was, that was that big hype moment where she was like, he doesn't know what I do, and like as though he's like the super uber religious man who, but the truth is that he don't want to really be with her. Like he wants her there, he loves her, but he's like, you a grown-ass woman, you can do what you want, you're not my wife. Like, I don't own you. Like, oh, do what we got to do. So like, we all know, based on the fact that he got with some other woman, how he truly feels, the fact that they've been knowing each other for 12 years and not one time have she met his family. And so it's one of these things where you have to look at the outside things that are going on to really understand their relationship. It's her friends were right. So this is very, very, very side note. None of you guys care, but my phone just alerted me that The Witcher season 3 is coming, and so I'm very excited.
What was that meme I sent you that looked like The Witcher? Oh my God, no, is it Matt? Wait, what was?
What?
Did I send you? I thought I sent you something that referenced The Witcher
Yes,
recently.
it did. It was like a meme from 90 Day Fiance referring
Yes.
to The Witcher. Yes, but it just says The Witcher season 3 official like trailer.
Was it Matt? It's not Matt in the wolf thing.
Oh yes, or yes, I think it was. Yes.
Okay, so like maybe we can maybe we can find
So-
that. That'd be a great Oh, that's next. Okay, well, should we go
Yeah.
on it? Wait. Okay, do you want to start and I'll try and find what I sent you?
Okay, so
Do you know where I sent it to you?
I think you just showed it to me. I think you were like, "Look at this."
Oh,
So it's in your Instagram, maybe.
no.
Okay, so we start off with Matt and Anna, and I don't know if this is day 3 or whatever of whatever. Remember the night before he was like, remember he forced her to go home and she was ready to do something else and she was gonna
Yes.
about him. And so
It's got to be the next day, right?
it's got to be the next day, yeah. And so now she's dressed as like Catwoman, and like he's dressed as like a shaggy dog, but it looks like it's supposed to be a wolf. And this is the point where like men are coming up to her and she's speaking to them in Portuguese, and the guy was like, can he understand? And she's like, no, nothing, none of this. The way she said that, I was like, you seem really excited about this. And he's like, yeah, she's with me, keep going, guy. And he like turns around and stares at another guy and he's like, yeah, keep going. And I just wanted someone to come and punch him in his face so that we could truly see what the metal he is made of, which is paper. He doesn't even have any, does not metallic at all.
Mhm.
I mean, like, it is just really, it's one of those situations where you can tell that because he's so out of his element and he's not prepared to be challenged for his beautiful ass girlfriend, he's probably going to blame it on her. Like, oh my God, she's dressing so sexy. It's going to cause men to come up to her. And then I'm going to have to defend my position. I don't know. It was just like really, really dumb.
Yep.
It was just like really dumb.
It was, it's so, yeah. First of all, I love Portuguese sounds from women. It's a lot of like, oh, no, that's not it. It's like, oh, it's like she makes like, she's like, it sounds like she, I don't know. It's like the sound I can't quite make because I'm not Portuguese, but
You're not?
Patrick and, well, I'm a rapper. Patrick and Thais would make that sound too.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
oh, I keep trying to do it and it's not the sound. I'm making myself mad. I'll get it off camera. But anyway, he says a couple of things that are interesting. He's like, she was advanced on, which I was like, she's like your fortress? I was so crazy. And then he at some point is like, does this happen to you all the time? Does every time you go out? She's like, yeah.
Yeah.
She must be like, and he's like, you see his like spirit fall. But then he goes, I'm gonna protect my most valuable treasure, which is you, or whatever. And the way he starts it in such a way that he has to try and find the ending, and that's how he found the ending. And that sent shivers down my spine when he said it. Like, there's something out of that. Like, I was like, oh my God, I don't know about that one. I will tell you that Patreon really, really, we know. I know because I read the comments. I don't know, in the sense that you guys were like, you hate him for going out of his, like bracket or whatever. League. And I, it's funny. It's like, only because we think that he, it's like he does not understand all that comes with it. And it's like, I cannot imagine it's going to sustain. And so there's a certain level of like, holy fuck, of like watching this transpire. And in the same way that, like if he was an older woman who had leveraged her whole fucking house, and then is gonna like be like, this person loves me, who obviously doesn't love him, and be like, oh girl, like, no, why are you so crazy? Why are you so stupid? It feels kind of like that. But anyway.
For me, it's more so that instead of him the reason why it frustrates me is because he puts the onus on her. And that's the thing that makes me mad. It's like, you are choosing to date out of your league. and now you're in it, super uncomfortable. And now you want, I feel like he's going to easily, and I feel like in next episode or the next episode, he's going to try to flip it and make it seem like, well, she only loves me because of America. And it's like, you know, I'm sorry, do you think you're Patrick of Patrick and Thais? Like, you, yeah. So it's like
Yeah.
it's foolish. It's a foolish thing. Like, it'd be one thing if he was like, yeah, fuck it, she's beautiful and she wants to come to America. Like, that's great. I'm be so excited to have her on her arm, my arm. I'll give her whatever she wants because like I'm so enamored to have such a beautiful woman on my team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's not that though. It is like, well, I hope she loves me for me. And it's like, if you were mildly cool, like it's not even that his looks are, you know, awkward. He could look good if he were to do something. There's like a little tweaking. He's not a terrible looking person, but it's the confidence within that I can tell makes him not a cool guy. Like it just, that's what it is. It's the confidence. Cause he's like, oh, I'm 36. Girl, like we're all 36 and none of us feel this like this. I don't know. I don't know.
I know I'm so mad you're not going to finish that sentence.
Well, I mean, we're all 36. I'm older and I would never do that. It like, I'm an older person. Well, I guess it's different because people have, I am like Anna, you know, I get told I'm beautiful all the time. So like, just kidding.
Yeah, no, honey, it's like death becomes her, honey. She's ageless because of her beauty. I'm going to give him one thing. Second day, he's not wearing the sock. Well, I looked.
Yeah, it is choices like that. That's the thing that bothers me. It's like, not only is she physically out of your league, she's emotionally out of your, or like physically as in physical looks out of your league, but like you are so ready to settle into old. That's what makes me he's not even Scott, right? Like if he were Scott, you'd be like, okay. I mean, to me, to a certain extent, Scott is going to try to keep up with her. He might let her do things on her own. He might not, but that's what I mean. I want him, Matt, to let Anna roam on her own should she want to. I want him to not try to hold her back because he can't keep up. And that's why I'm more frustrated with him than anything. So anyways, are we done? What is this? April and Valentine? Do we have them next or?
No.
Okay.
Because they're not in this episode.
I'm going to tell you right now, for you guys who are listening, we're going to do episode 8. Mama gonna knock you out. And I'm going to tell you that I had a very hard time watching April. Very. I was having so much anxiety, like not anxiety, embarrassment. I was having so much secondhand embarrassment. And, you know, so if some of my memory of what exactly happened, besides his hot ass brother, if something I don't remember, it's because I was up moving around. I was like, I can't sit here. Anyways.
I can't wait to talk about it. You're absolutely right. That's so I guess we can kind of say that this probably episode was a little bit boring. And I think we were promised probably a little more of like fun confrontation between Matt and the many different guapos. That's the wrong word. Different men that like are so hot that wanted Anna, but that didn't, it was just kind of more of just kind of sad. Mm-hmm. So let's I'll post this and I gotta make the thing and we're gonna get right into, and thank you Patreon for your true. Just so thank you for your patience is what I was going to say. But yeah, we love you guys. And
talk to you later.
Bye.